Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Bandit Souls Cryptic Gaming here. So, playing Skull and Bones. A lot of questions been coming in. First thing, how do I find so much material? Well, I'm going to show you the trick to that. So, when we first started off, we've showed you where to grind and farm those materials. Unfortunately, there's only one other way that you can prevent that. So, what you're going to do is you're going to get your kingdom built. You want the red isle, you can add as much as you want to it. I say get red isle because it's right here, it's handy, that's where most of your contracts happen, and you're right here. You can expand into it. We've been grabbing some of these points that connect over into it just to get those extra trade routes completed. So definitely do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to take everything to 10s. I do recommend getting them up to 9s though. You're only looking at, let's bring this up here. You're looking at a increase of, it's like 4, production of 4 per hour. So over a period of time, yeah, that adds up to you if you want to have to build the level 12 and 13 ships it's going to take to be able to go and collect. So we got a 10 over here. We ended up bringing this up to a 12 to be able to make that voyage. So at that point, I stopped here at a 9 so we can have 11s run it. And again, up here at 10, we've got a 13 assigned up there. So a lot of interesting stuff going on in the game though with that. But once you build this up, you're going to be gathering up your pieces of 8. Hey man, take your time, get your kingdom set up. You want to bring those levels up, just like we showed you at the beginning of season 1 at the beginning of this season. If you will get your first bases that connect here, there's 4 right here that connect, and focus on, you can capture more stuff, but capture those, get them up to 10s as quickly as possible. Then you want to look at the points where they connect in. You want to be grabbing these other connection points as well that are connecting over here, and just start. Once you grab them all, you're running legendary heists. Legendary heists, they will pay off a territory. So this would be Seafood Lumberyard. Well, that happens to be the Red Isle, I think. I think that's this one right here. So we own it. I don't have to do it, but I can earn pieces of 8 if I went ahead and ran that. I don't have the need for the 8s anymore, but that's one of the things I did to get the pieces of 8 and stuff, to get those upgraded. Of course, we come in with 300,000, but now what I'm doing with my 8s, because we're not going to be able to bring over 300,000 into season 3, and that's assuming they let us bring any in it at all. So we may see that game dynamic change there at season 3 where we don't bring 8s at all. We just have to wait and see how they decide. There's not going to be any information on that, at least until probably a few days before season 3 actually releases, kind of like it was with season 2. So you're going to see that there's some new things. So the summer stash chest, I've not seen anything carrying ice right now. I've searched all over the seas. I've blown up every ship, checked every area. It's not in game yet, I don't believe. So your legacy cash and stuff, that's, you have a small chance. When I say small chance, a very small chance, you could get some Cornods in there. You could get Skurlock Long Nines. You could get Twin Winch Ballistas, the LaFleur, or the Rema's Legacy from it. It does not, as far as I understand, no one's gotten any darts out of it, but they have gotten darts out of the purple sea maps, the rare sea maps that you pick up. So that's a good option. You get those from the Hubok Twin contracts. They'll drop on the ocean. You pick it up. So definitely recommend doing that as well. And they've gotten 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure I heard that he's had 2 drops of darts and maybe even a Black Prince. So that's good. I don't share my drop rates because I don't hardly ever get anything, man. I mean, it's embarrassing to watch me open these chests and stuff. It's never anything. But at least for me, other folks have better drop rates. So here's where you're going to get your crude saltpeter, your shellac, screw mechanisms, and sheet glass that convert over into lacquer and, of course, plate glass. And then over here you have your casting sand, which is converted into dry sand. Then you have your wood tar, which is converted over into pitch or something like that. So that's going to be another area. And then, of course, your cogwheels. But I'd usually buy the crap out of these right here. You're not going to see any use for shark skin, hippo skin as of yet. It may change. We'll have to wait and see. Teak wood, mopane wood. But if you check these, you will never see magnetite. No magnetite there. So there are 2 materials as of right now that you cannot buy in the black market. And that is magnetite ingot, and I'm going to show you the best place to get it. If you will come over here to Dutchman's Camp, okay, I just come back over and had over 200 pieces just from coming along this wall. I know it doesn't show it on the map, but come up along this wall. There's a few locations. Come in here. There's about 8 locations, and if you hit that pickaxe just right, you're going to get 27 to 30 per payout. That's right, 27 to 30 pieces per location. There's more than 2 in here. There's like 8 locations in here. There's some up along here. Then there's one over here, and as you come in, there's going to be some more along this back wall coming up around this corner. Now, there may be more up in this area. There, as far as I know, there's not. But you'll get about 200 from running that pass there. Then, of course, you're going to want to come over here. There's a couple of veins of magnetite on this island here that is directly across from Grand Fillets. If you look, if you fast travel into Grand Fillets, there's a magnetite pocket over here. There's a magnetite pocket over here. There's quite a few of them out through this way around the island. Like I say, this shows an area. That doesn't mean there's only one pocket, so check it real good. Then there's a few pockets here, and it seemed like there's for sure one, but I think there might actually is a secondary one here over. So that's going to give you enough magnetite if you're upgrading those snows, guys. I know it seems like just a pain to get, but it's not compared to, you guessed it, sinew string and kohanana, I guess is how you pronounce that. So you get the sinew string here. Now I have dropped sinew string from running these convoys. Sometimes you get it in treasure chests. That's typically what I get to drop out of, is those treasure chests, not the gold boxes. They're the kind of, it's got a epic background, but it's just a wooden crate. I typically get them to drop from that. You'll see some other, little drop areas, checking convoys and stuff. But if you're looking for a surefire place to get one, here you go. Yeah, when I say one, if you're doing this fort solo, it's easy enough to do solo. You're going to be here a very long time. I know myself and several other guys, we would end up running into each other in the server, just back and forthing between this thing, man. And then we finally started joining up, and it ended up giving us more materials that way too. So that's going to help you get that better drop rate, where you can be getting up to maybe 4 rather than just 1. So I would recommend that. Casting sand, like I say, buy most of it over there, but casting sand, what I did is I come over here and I plundered Machanga, I plundered Pimby, and then I would plunder Jiwi, and then I would shoot back up to Machanga, then I come back over here to Pimby, and I come back over here to Jiwi, and I just kept going back and forth there to get that casting sand. Now the best pay on casting sand is right here at Jiwi. So that's the way you can do it, plundering those. You can plunder those solo if you wanted to. Now with you're in a group, again, higher payouts, definitely worth the higher payouts. Or like I say, save yourself some trouble. Make sure you get the red isles. We're still early in the season. I think we're week 5 now, so we're still pretty early in this season. We're not even midway point yet. We're getting there. But yeah, man, get the red isles, get that stuff leveled up. That's going to give you all the H you need. Plus, you're going to have plenty of time to save up that 300,000. They may or may not allow us to carry over. So those are my recommendations on that to you. Now, you may be wondering, where do I get these ship parts? Well, that is the stinker. So you can come to Skurlock. He wants 2,000. Okay, 2,000 Gold Skull products. If you go talk to Rema, same thing. 2,000 of the upgraded snuff and opium products for that. Now, if you saved you some of those Vengeful Essence, you could come over here to the oubliette. You have to pardon me, man. I don't really speak French very well, actually, at all. But yeah, so when we come over here, you can buy a part every hour. Yeah, you heard me right. 1 part every hour. Now, why would they do that? 1 part every hour. Well, one, that's how often the stores refresh. We still got 13 minutes to buy again, but right here's the exotic upgrade part. It costs you 200 Vengeful Essence. You're going to be able to get that again when the Roadman Golden comes back into the game. That will be in this season, so definitely get in there and farm him, guys. And then, of course, the Mysterious Chest. This has the different types of products. You get that with that red ash. I bought a bunch of those right at the end of the season. So when Roadman Golden comes out and they're dumping a lot of the red ash and a lot of these gold boxes, I just stack them up. I'm not going to open them if I don't need them. The reason for that is going into a new season, you're going to have a lot of the products there. There's going to be pieces of 8 in there. There's going to be a lot of materials that you can set up to be getting those upgraded. And then once you have your stuff set up, I'll set up a rum delivery or whatever type of material it is where you have to come down here and deliver to the rover. I just fight everything coming in. I shoot that guy, and you get about 500 to 600, depending on your payouts on those contracts, of the pieces of 8. So that's where you're getting your pieces of 8. Now, there's a lot of people that tell you, well, you need to go ahead and sell them the products. You need to go ahead and do that. Hey, man, that's up to you if you want to play the game that way. The way this game is designed is you're a pirate or you're a merchant. When you're a pirate, you call your liaison and said, yeah, man, I got some product to sell, bring the cash, we're going to come, we're going to do our deal. So they come out, they got the stuff for the deal, and you sync them and take it and keep your stuff for later purchases like over at Skurlock or Rima. That's why I tell you do these things on the game like this. That is the best way to get ahead in this game. If you come in here and you try to play this game like, I'm going to play this game with like rule laws and stuff. Well, understand the laws of the sea are different than laws of the land. Plus, this thing took place, 200-300 years in the past. I think they said 16th or 17th century. This is based off of. I think it's the 17th century maybe. But anyway, so you have to adapt your thinking. That's why this game is designed this way. So when you have things like Risk of Rising Tide, again, you can farm this. It's got casting sand lime. You can solo this easily, no problem. You can solo this. Same thing with the Convoy of High Spirits. You can solo that. Maybe thinking, well, I can't solo it. Well, the moment you get your sandbuck up to a level 6, you're going to be able to solo any of them. Now, that's not to say you might not get sunk until you get the hang of using that ship and using the repairs and stuff like that. But you're really not going to be needing to rely on that too much. Honestly, I've thought about maybe taking the Warhammer off of it and putting a little grace on there, mainly because I don't even use the Warhammer hardly anymore. The cannons have just become so OP using those demi cannons, man. But yeah, so you want to get as much material as you can. That's the best way to get those materials. Things that you can do to get extra silver is selling your gold skull product for silver to Skurlock and Rima. That is the best use of that stuff, other than buying those upgrade parts. But yeah, man, they're not cheap. It's one of those things where there was a lot of folks who come into season 1 and they farmed out the materials that they needed, as far as your furnitures, your cosmetics and stuff. And then they wanted to come into season 2, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, these guys have all this extra material. They must be cheating somehow. No, man, we farmed all of season 1 for materials. Our warehouses were slammed full. They've released new materials, so we're having to cut back on the types of foods that we carry in our warehouse now, like your bracing food and stuff. You got to really pick what it is you're looking to keep, because there's not enough room in these warehouses to house all these materials anymore. But if you come in and you want to look at the warehouse space, that's the ship. Let's go to the warehouse. Actually, we could hit it this way. So you can see we've got our grilled durian here. We've got a bunch of different stuff sitting over here because we don't have any room to bring it in. When you come down, you're seeing that, hey, some of this stuff we're grinding up as we go. We keep it all. We set it all back. We do not mess around. We make sure that we have plenty of materials. Capital relics. I mean, we've got guys capital relics from season 1. I sold them all to make warehouse space. What it turns out they're to use for buyouts. So you can buy those properties. As you see them come up for sale, yeah, they have buyouts on here, so you don't have to fight for it, which is pretty cool. So just tons of capital relics, military relics, fine relics. Don't know if they're going to have any more use in the game, but we're setting it back. Been taking and setting some of this stuff up. On occasion, I'll take some of my gold skull products. If I'm getting where I get tired of waiting to go buy a part every hour, I will use 2,000 of those, and I'll go buy me a upgrade part from Rima or Skurlock. It's kind of expensive. It's kind of steep. Still a ton of cannons. I had gotten rid of all of the cannons that I had. I'd used about all of the shields or armors and stuff for the ships up. But I mean, in furniture and all that kind of stuff, removed all of that at the beginning of the season, just so we had room for these materials that are in here. So a lot of there's a lot of materials in there now. So we do have a little bit of space. I try to keep 2 open slots for something if it's something that comes into the new game. It's there. I don't really know if I need it, but sometimes you come in and all you want to do is empty your warehouse, and it's like, cannot transfer to warehouse. Warehouse is full. I'm sure y'all have seen that. It's usually because you picked up a weapon. As you can see, we just used that 1 slot. So we're going to move this over to the warehouse too, and we've used up our last slot. So what you have to decide is it important for you to carry metal salvage, nails, torn sails, scavenged wood, and broken planks? I do recommend that you do, because you can convert all that into repair kits, which can be converted into enhanced repair kits. So yeah, definitely pick the stuff up. You got to keep converting. Don't have to keep a lot of raw materials, but you definitely want to make sure that you keep the materials refined to their highest status in there. That's going to help you with that warehouse space, man. Let's see here. So one of the other things that I do with these repair kits and stuff is I will come in, and let's go ahead and move up here real quick, and I want to show you what I'm talking about in case you're wanting to see. I know a lot of people like with visual aids, so here's what I do. I'm going to show you exactly what I buy. This is how I do a farming. I'm not going to show the whole video of me farming, guys, but I'm going to show you what it consists of. If it's a ship, I rate it, meaning I blow it up. Alright, now if you're picking up from communities and stuff, wait till you do your purchases and buys from them before you start a big war in the area. Especially if you're going to something like Houston Capital to pick up glass. You don't want to start a big war over at Houston Capital and then try to ease up in there and buy some glass. You're not going to make it out of the bay, if you even make it up there to buy anyway. So as we come in here, there's NISD all through here. Alright, so typically I'm picking all that stuff up. And what my actual location is, I am not coming in here to farm heavy and blow everybody up. What I am doing is I'm coming in, ow, that fog. Plus the other screen probably didn't help me much. I wanted that finger that went to the right, but it's fine. It's just going to drop us up here a little further up. Now this weaver here does not have anything of any value unless you're wanting to get this material. But when you come to Jiwi, you're going to be able to buy some stuff here. It seems like they even sell dirt. So before you plunder, buy. Then you can plunder, and you're going to get a little extra dirt that way. Or you can buy it from the black market, like I've been saying. So when we come up here, we're going to interact. I want to buy, sell. Oh, well, look at that. So they got dirt. I want some dirt. They don't sell a lot of dirt, but it's a little bit, and it adds up. Now, something else is, I like bombards. I love to use bombards. So I just go ahead and buy my bombard balls here. I may as well go ahead and pick up some cannonballs, too. Don't need any ballista, don't need any sea fire. But I wouldn't mind having some more repair kits, because I've been taking and converting those into enhanced 1s and 2s. And we missed the water down there. So, yeah, we want to get this water as well. So people are asking about making a water flask so that you can, I guess, getting the recipe for it. I don't know if they have a blueprint or recipe for it. They did in the closed betas, but I think it's just something you pick up on islands now, man. But it could be that they're out there. But this is how I get water. Some of them sell water barrels, some of them sell flasks. Buy both. You're just loading your ship up. All you're doing is you're playing merchant for a little bit. You want to come in, like I say, the Jiwi Weaver, nothing worth buying. We're going to stop by it on the way by, just to show you. But we would be hitting these chests, or these ships, because sometimes there's bombard crates and stuff like that, repair kits and all. I have been kind of selective about what I'm pulling out of those, like I used to be. I don't just grab anything and everything. I just grab ammo crates and leave the rest unless it's some kind of a rare material. So here is the Weaver. So when we talk to this one, There's just really nothing like that I want out of here because all they sell is defined Cecil. Now, if that's something that you're needing, hey, you can buy one there, and then you can rate it. Your better payouts, like I say, not every location is going to pay out, but your better payouts are actual settlements and actual foundries and capitals that you're going to be able to buy stuff from with silver, man. Like I say, you maybe think, well, I don't have a lot of silver. I've got a lot of videos, folks, in the little playlists there. Definitely go back, check some of those. Tell you how to get silver, how to make silver, and all. Now, some dynamics of the game have changed at this point, but the basis premise of it is if you want it, you got to farm it. Meaning, it's not going to just hand you the game's just not going to hand you the keys to the kingdom. You're going to have to fight for it, and that's just what an MMORPG is. You've got to grind the stuff out. But as you can see, there is a lot of stuff we take for granted. All these shipwrecks. You've got a crowbar 3 is required, so don't have a problem with that. I have crowbar 3. I think everybody does at this point, honestly. I would hope that you do. Give a little water there, speed up here. Of course, you're fighting the wind constantly in this game, as most people know. That's why I do use the bark a lot. When I get tired of dealing with that wind, man, I'll switch to bark. It's not quite as bad with the wind. So here's what we were talking about a little earlier. You can find a lot of different cosmetics. So here's some kind of Wimby waistband. Again, you can buy sand. Like I say, I buy what I need, what I think I might need. Bombard crates, cannonballs. Go ahead and buy some more water flasks. Go ahead and buy some repair kits, and you don't have to make this trip every day, every time. Well, usually once you make a trip like this, you're not going to need anything for a while. So we're going to head over here to this other location and buy some more stuff as well. But folks, this is what I'm talking about. This is how you effectively prepare in the game, farm in the game. How you're going to find the stuff that you need. If you're doing this every day, even if you don't need it now, do it. Get the stuff you can. If it's some raw materials you think you're going to need, things like glass and stuff like that that's been used to build ships in the past, chances are you're going to need it again. And they're going to be adding new materials as well into this game as well. So we know, like for the ice, there's something new there. It sounds like it's got some drinks and stuff. So I'm guessing those are for bracing, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it'll have different types of perks for your crew. As you drink one, driving down, going down through the sea, maybe it's some new perks. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what those are going to be released as. Because, again, get what you need. I mean, if you needed nickel ingot, if you're needing teak planks and stuff like that, if you don't have any, that stuff is easier. Just be blowing up the ships as you go along here because you're going to get the ingots, you're going to get the teak wood, and you're going to end up in a situation where you're going to have plenty of they're out of stock of repair kits. Okay, looks like I've got a defense, but so I hope this has just kind of shown you how to do it. We're going to run this defense. I've been waiting for a defense for this because this is the battle bark build. Been working on. We can solo these with the sandbuck, no problem. This is a level 6 bark, and it's been impressing so far. So I think we're definitely going to be able to take this defense. We're going to head down there to Jiwi now, where it's located. And after this defense, I believe we're going to hop off of here. Boy, them fogs like to roll in. I got to tell you, though, these foul isles, I love these cannons. Now, granted, I love the sandbuck, and I love my Zama 3s on it. They're more powerful. But for this ship, using this ship, especially for solo farming stuff and all, you're going to get a lot of cargo space, but it does a great job with that ricochet. So hopefully we'll be able to show you some of that in this battle here as soon as we get in the zone. All right, and join the event. Hey, it won't be undefended. We are here. So it looks like there is course, the open sea over there. We've got a pass over here, then a pass up front. We've got two long fire boats. Looks like maybe a better or two as well. A bit slower on the DPS maybe, but that's because it just is not a sandbuck. So it feels like I get distracted, guys. I was trying to keep an eye for where these boats are popping in at. All right, looks like we're looking pretty decent so far. That was wave one, so we'll see how well this goes for us. I don't think we're going to have any problem, but man, it's a good way to test it. If it won't hold up to a defense, then yeah, obviously I got to go back to the drawing board. It may take a little bit longer to shoot the ships without the extra DPS, but the heals will be nice in here. See the ricochet shot that went back at him? It's always sweet to see. Ricocheted back onto that ship again. So typically what I'm doing is I place myself nearest the actual fort here. That way, front we got bombards, back we got bombards. If they try to pass it on the right, we do have that foul owl demi cannon on both sides. So, and it does some massive ricochet shots. Just about every shot's a ricochet with it if you hit a weak point. So I think this is wave 3. Yep. Of course, it can be hard to see some of these ships with everything moving around in the water at times. So I'm pretty sure we hit him. But there may be a couple more up here. They could ease up on the fog a little bit to make it a little easier to see some ships. But then where would be the fun on that? All right, there's one down. Hit that dude again. All right, here we go. Seen something ricochet off of them. All right. Alright, and again, and this one here will just sink them. Down, buddy. Well, they like loaded up on the sharpshooters. Usually you have a few more brigs coming in here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and missile this dude right on out of here with that Warhammer. I think that was wave 4, right? Yep. Alright, wave 5 is incoming. Yeah, let's get back over to the other side. Looks like we got some friendlies, or some unfriendlies getting kind of close. Yeah, we might get another wave. Yeah, here we go. You ever see just when it was getting interesting, man? Yeah, so definitely not a bad build. I definitely like that. It's a pretty nice build. If you wonder how to build this ship, guys, we have that posted up earlier today, so definitely check down in those recent videos. So we are now getting that boost. That is why I run those. I like to get that boost on my Pieces of 8 collection. And then we get this Raider box. Now, sometimes you could get helm leases from these. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen. So we got some Piece of 8, Word Blue Lotus, Opium, Juniper Berries, Enhanced Repair Kits, and then silver. So not a bad little haul. So I mostly do it to get that boost on my Pieces of 8 collection, because that is what keeps me in business on my stuff. Oh, I like it. Very cool. Oh, I'm trying to get to the map here. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of I have to see where I'm going sometimes on this because, to be honest, it all starts to look the same. Scattered amongst these islands over here sometimes, but so there you have it, guys. Those are some helpful tips for you to find materials. Try to get the helm upgraded. Make sure that you get your location manufacturers taken and upgraded. And of course, make sure that you get your ship upgraded because that is what's going to allow you to complete these things in solo mode. And it's going to be a lot more fun with friends as well. Have a wonderful evening.